Hi, I'm Raya.
And I'm Brandon.
And you're watching
More Love with R&B.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Today we are going to do we're going to do something a little different.
Okay.
And I found a Reddit question that I thought would be perfect to ask you.
Okay.
And to ask you what you think. So I'm going to read this question. Get your popcorn, get your sweet tea. Get ready to answer this question. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So this is a Reddit question about relationships. Okay.
Yes.
So the title of this Reddit is called or is stated as such. My husband, 28-year-old male, told me, 26-year-old female, that he wished my C-section would go wrong during an argument.
Wait. Stop. Wait. Okay.
So I'm going to read the story. Okay.
Yes. It's so wow, bro. I mean, I've heard of some low blows before, but golly.
And we have a video about how to fight fair.
That's not fair, bro. That's so messed up.
It really is. So let me give you the story, okay?
It's messed up because I would have never thought to say that.
Like, I hope your C-section goes wrong.
That's so okay.
Just because you mad? Let's get into the story, okay? So my husband and I got into an argument tonight. He wanted to watch a new show during supper, and I wasn't too big of a fan of it because I knew it had violence in it. The show had violence. Okay. But we started watching it anyways after I finally cave in. Our son is 1.5 years old, and he was eating in his high chair, and the show started getting very violent. So I asked my husband to turn it off, and he refused. I told him it's not good for our son to watch this type of stuff, and he was still refusing to turn it off. A guy in the show got slammed against a wall, and our son said, "Uh-oh." So after my husband still refused to turn it off, I grabbed our son out of the high chair and left the room. My husband paused the show and started cleaning up the mess from the high chair and said I was being ridiculous. I showed him an article about how watching violence is not good for a child's development, even if they can't understand what they're seeing. He called her out of her name.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I told him, please don't call me that. I'm not being that, and I'm being a parent.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So she said, hold on. Because I have to come down. Okay. So she says, I'm not being that. I'm being a parent. Stop letting your pride get in the way of doing what's right for our son. And then he called me the C word.
Okay.
I don't understand. And threw the drain plug at me. I guess he was doing dishes.
Wait.
And threw the drain plug. And then he said, so she stared back in disbelief. And he said, I hope your C-section goes bad. I hate you. I'm currently pregnant with our second child. I'm in such disbelief right now. I don't even know how to process what just happened or what to do. Is this something that can be fixed or forgiven?
And the third annual Petty LaBelle Award goes to this guy.
So
why? Go ahead.
When I read this, I was like, this escalated really fast. The fact that you just asked him like, hey, can you turn this off? Let's not watch this in front of our son. And he goes ballistic. To me, I feel like, is she potentially leaving something out? Number one. But number two, I just don't understand the insensitivity that I don't care what she did. Why the vulgarness when you are looking at your pregnant wife, the raging hormones, the tiredness and all the things, no matter what she did, where's the compassion? I just don't understand. So,
and they're married.
Yeah, they're married.
It don't say for how long, do it?
No, but
we can find out what stage they're at.
She's 26 and he's 28. They have a 1.5-year-old child.
Oh my gosh.
And she's pregnant again.
So let me say this, because I clearly have 94 jokes for this scenario. However, in all seriousness, I will say this is a clear case of like not knowing how to communicate. So we might look at something like this and go, for this guy, like it's a TV show, like it's not that serious, like calm down, dude. But really? For him, it must be a big deal. And you can tell it's a big deal because of how he's communicating and like how he's lashing out like his 1-year-old son.
Facts.
But it's clear, right? It's clear that he is not equipped with the maturity or the words to actually communicate what he's feeling. And so he resorts to like abusive verbal language.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like
yeah.
I've been mad at you before. I've been really mad at you before. But it wouldn't even, that's why I said like, bro, some people just got problems. Because I would have never thought that, let alone to say it. Because here's the thing. He thought it. And then he said, you know what? Like somewhere in his brain, as they're running the approvals of like, are we going to actually put this out in the atmosphere? Like, bro, approved, say it. And then he said it. Like you didn't have to say it. You could have thought it and been like, oh, this girl gets on my nerve. But he actually said it.
Yeah. And so to me, I feel like, so the question that she asked, is it something that can be fixed or forgiven? The answer is yes. This can be fixed. This can be forgiven. First, it needs to be fixed. Okay. And I believe that counseling is key. Now, again, I 100%. Don't know their dynamic. Okay. And there is just, we know that when you're pregnant, when you have a young 1.5-year-old child, you're not getting to sleep, you're not getting to rest, you're emotional. I don't know if he was triggered from work. I don't know if he was triggered from her. But apparently this man was triggered.
Clearly, I was about to say, what's his excuse? Like, what was his excuse for that?
To me, like, there has to be a trigger, right? And I feel like a lot of times when situations happen, now I'm not saying all situations, because there's sometimes where you're doing everything right as the wife and your husband is just an abusive person because they have anger issues that may not necessarily have anything to do with you. It's from past trauma. And we do have videos about that as well.
Yeah, that's tough, though.
Yeah, but a lot of times when there's stuff going on, and this is what I try to do, the first thing I do is there anything that I did that could have contributed to this situation? I try to take ownership, because a marriage is two people like interacting. Because if you're like, can this be fixed? Well, you need to make sure that there's stuff that you're fixing as well. Yeah. It may not necessarily just all be your husband, but this needs to be addressed. Your husband has no right to call you out of your name, to disrespect you, to not care about your feelings, about your son and what he's watching, and to gaslight you when you're saying, hey, I'm concerned, and just say, you're being dramatic. Counseling is key. Don't toss it aside like, oh, he just had a bad day and let this carry on. Absolutely not. If your husband is, or if you're out there and your wife is verbally abusive, if they're willing to do that, then they could also do other things like physical violence. You've got to get it handled. That's what I would say.
Okay, we're going to be serious, because I even though I find comedy in like almost anything, I'm just so, I can't imagine how hurt that woman feels. I can't get to the comedy because I feel so bad that a human being a pregnant person had to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
So one of the things I think we need to normalize in a marriage is self-control. We have to normalize self-control, because we understand that the marriage is the most vulnerable relationship, like most vulnerable human relationship you can have. That's what we think. That's what we believe. You can feel what you want to feel. We believe that the marriage is the most vulnerable relationship you can have. And there's no way that you can say things like this and it not have deep resonating effects. Like, even after the forgiveness, there's something in that person's head like, but you went to the degree of saying that. Like, I now know what you're capable of. Now, granted, you can forgive them and you can move on and all that. And we have had we've said like low. I don't think we've ever said anything that low to each
No.
other. Like we know each other.
We've never wished each other harm, and we've never called each other like out of their name.
Right. And so I'm just like, this is a whole new level. I thought we were low, but goodness gracious, it gets lower. So my whole thing though is like in a relationship, in a marriage, I think one of the best things that you can do as couples is normalize self-control. You can be mad. There's nobody saying you can't get mad, but how you express that anger has to come with some kind of self-control, because once you say certain things, one, you can't take it back. B, that person has now heard you say it, and whatever effect it's going to have on them, you can't control how it affects them.
Yeah.
Whether they say, whoa, man, that was low, or if they say like, yo, I feel now traumatized that you, my spouse, would say that. Oh, I didn't mean it. It wasn't. I can't get around that. And you can't get mad, because you cannot control how somebody else feels and receives what you're saying.
Yeah.
Especially when you're emotional.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So if you are in a marriage where you are the offending party, you have allowed your anger to offend and hurt and maybe even traumatize your spouse, you need to ask for forgiveness. You need to be willing to go to some form of anger management, marital counseling, something. And just like Brandon said, you need to practice self-control. Your spouse is not your enemy. Even if they're nagging, even if you both are exhausted from taking care of the baby, and then now the wife is pregnant and she's sick, and you feel like you're stressed and overwhelmed. And we get the emotions, and we get the fact that you might be tired or annoyed or frustrated, and you're just trying to find some peace. You can't even watch TV in your house, but taking it out on your spouse, it just does more harm. It doesn't make you feel better, and it doesn't help the situation. So please seek help.
I agree. And I guess since I've already kind of brought it up, I do have like one joke. So only saying this because I really don't feel like there's a lot that can come of this, because it's so unfortunate. But just because I am a person that is like, if I were her and she was and he was like yelling and angry or whatever, and was like, well, I hope your C-section goes wrong. Yeah, that's a low blow. Now, if she can't get past that, I understand. But if just in the moment she had enough wit to respond, if I were her, I would have said, I hope your bowel movements go wrong.
What?
I hope they all go wrong. I hope the next
horrible.
time you try to poop, nothing comes out and it stays in, and you feel that, all that backed up. Like I would have really got, yes, see that. But that's my thing. That's paying me. That's not me. That's me trying to work through how can I hurt you back the way you hurt me.
Let's not do that.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's not good. It's bad. But it would have been me trying to go. Because I was like, bro, I would have just been so shocked. I was like, like, you know. Now again, if they had the relationship, clearly they don't have this relationship.
No,
but if they
'cause
had
she's
the
hurt.
relationship where she can kind of tell he wasn't serious, like, bro, this is your child too. Like, are you kidding me? What you think gonna go wrong, Brad? What you think gonna go wrong?
Not Brad.
I'm just asking you, what do you think's gonna go wrong that you wishing would go wrong? Like, that's crazy. It's gonna be the kid or me. That's what goes wrong in C-sections.
Wow.
You really? So
Yeah.
I would have just been so shocked. And so, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, so if you like videos like this where we pull questions from Reddit or Facebook or whatever and read them to you all, let us know in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or stories that you would like to share, leave it down in the comment as well.
Yes. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and you'll see the videos we put out as soon as they drop.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
Peace.